This is episode 17 of Ask Mogz Anything, the series where I answer questions from you guys about Sideswipe and about myself. This is a special episode featuring Grand Champion ranked Hoops gameplay from some of the best Hoops players in the world, and it includes answers to questions about topics like how to rank up out of silver, is Rocket League dying, and how to participate in one of my videos. All of the gameplay shown in this video and all of the questions answered in this video came from my Discord server. If you want to submit your own gameplay or questions for future episodes, come join the Mogz Discord server. The details are on screen and in the video description. Alright, let's get into the first match and the first question. Alright, so the first question comes from Blogs, and they ask, next episode of Purple Room when? So Purple Room was a video that I didn't really originally intend on making a car design contest. That was more of an afterthought. Originally that video was just supposed to be teaching people how to get into the Purple Room. It's just going to be kind of just a nice kind of creative video, maybe 2 minutes long, something like that, where I just showed you how to get into the Purple Room with a bit of humor, and that was going to be it. So the car design part was sort of an afterthought that I thought, well, it's a good way to get the community involved, which I'm always thinking of doing. And also it was a way to just extend the video so it wasn't like a 2-minute video and turn it into, like a 6-minute video, which is I think better for YouTube. So, but yeah, I haven't really thought about doing another episode. The video did pretty well. I mean, it got 6,000 views, I think. Yeah, almost 6,000. So not too bad. So yeah, I'm definitely open to doing more episodes. I might put the word out on my Discord server and see how many entries I get. And then, maybe I'll look at doing another episode. Yeah, thanks for the suggestion or question. Next one comes from Franco, and they ask, how can I improve and rank up in Sideswipe? Right, so I can see that you're a silver rank. So you're going to still be on Shortstack for 1v1. So I'd definitely recommend watching my Shortstack video. That'll really help you with 1v1s. The main takeaways are just that you shouldn't flip into your shots. That's kind of the main one. And also just stay on the ground as much as possible. Don't go up for aerials and waste your boost and stuff. But once you do get out of silver, you're going to want to work on your aerials, and also in 2v2s you'll need your aerials just right from the start. And the most important thing really for low ranked players is just to get good at setting up an air dribble. So going from the ground with the ball on your car, and then taking the ball from there straight up into the air for an air dribble, and then doing whatever you want from there. You don't have to use any mechanics, but the main thing is just that setup. You want to make sure that's really fast and accurate and uses as little boost as possible. You don't want to be sort of under the ball trying to get control of it and like using half your boost in just the first couple of seconds. So that's really important. So I would just recommend going into free play and just practicing your air dribble setup. So take the ball on the ground and just take it up into the air, and just repeat that over and over and over until you get really comfortable. Do it in different positions. Do it facing away from the attacking direction, and do it facing towards the attacking direction, and just get really, really good at that. If you can get good at that, it'll massively help you in every single game mode. So that's probably my main piece of advice really for lower ranked players. And also obviously in 2v2s, just watch your teammate. Don't focus too much on plays yourself. Focus on your teammate and whether or not he's going for the ball, and if he is, then you should be defending. Avoid the kind of instinct to ball chase and just go for the ball no matter what. Just watch your teammate and kind of work with your teammate. That's one of the most important things. But yeah, great question. Next one comes from ybomb123, and they ask, Mogz, can you do some more 3D RL? So this guy asks the same question over and over and over in just different ways. Rocket League content though it's very saturated. I mean, there's so many channels out there that are doing really, really well with massive subscriber bases and getting tons of views. So it's a really difficult sort of market to enter. And I've tried it before. I mean, the first year of my channel, I was doing just Rocket League content, and I never really did that well. I think my best video was 60,000 views, 70,000 views or something. But you compare that to Sideswipe, and I have videos that have 500,000, 600,000, 1 million views, over 1 million. So it's just completely different. And yeah, I think, and also Rocket League videos require more editing. Like it's just much more, because it's 3-dimensional, there's much more you can do with it. And so, you know, I tend to spend just hours and hours and hours and hours just editing. And yeah, it's just more time intensive. So that's one of the problems, but I'm definitely open to it. I am always thinking of Rocket League content that I can do, and yeah, I mean, I can't promise anything, but I'll continue thinking about it. Thank you for the suggestion, though. Next one comes from Mythical. Mythical. And they ask, Mogz, can I be in one of your videos? I mean, there's a few different ways you can be in my videos or have a chance to be in my videos, and they all revolve around the Discord server. So there's a few channels you can enter, you can put your entries in, for like the 1v2 series, for the Sideswipe Players versus the Rank They Think They Deserve series, and then any contests or whatever, you know, and also AMA, obviously, you know, you're in a video now, so congratulations. But yeah, just be on the Discord, and any announcements that I have about upcoming, you know, ways that you can participate, then you'll get the announcement on there. So just stay active on the Discord and check the notifications and stuff. That's really the main way you can participate. But yeah, next one comes from Nand, and they ask, are you planning to change games or something for your YouTube channel? Yeah, it's a good question. I think I've talked about this a bunch of times in AMA videos, but I am always thinking of new games that I can do. There's a game coming out in the next couple of months that I'm going to be absolutely like hammering on my second channel. So my second channel is basically going to become a Helldivers 2 channel. So that's my plan at the moment for that. For my main channel, there is a game coming out. I don't know when it's coming out, but it's kind of a soccer Rocket League type game that I'm looking at covering. I don't know how much I'll do it, but yeah, we'll see. But for now, I mean, the Sideswipe videos, especially the community-driven ones, are doing pretty well, and my channel is actually kind of booming. I mean, it's doing better than it was doing 6 months ago, and it's pretty consistently like performing well. And I think I'm getting a really good idea of what types of content do well and what types of content don't really do well. And you know, the community driven ones, the, you know, 1v2, the Sideswipe Players versus the Rank, anything where I'm doing like kind of commentary on gameplay seems to do really, really well. So I'm just going to keep doing those videos as often as I can. And I guess if they stop performing well as well, then yeah, I might switch to a different game entirely. But yeah, and also some people suggested I do Fortnite, so I was thinking of maybe looking into that, seeing what kind of content I could do, maybe some Rocket League / Fortnite content, because I know there's some Rocket League stuff you can do in Fortnite, but I don't really know. I mean, I'm constantly thinking of how to grow my channel and how to keep doing interesting content that you guys are interested in. But yeah, it's a good question. Something I think about every single day. So not really planning to change games at the moment. I'm still focusing on Sideswipe. Most of my ideas are about Sideswipe, but in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking of other games to do. So yeah. Next one is another one from Nand, and they ask, looking back in life, what would you do differently? Oh, good question, man. What would I do differently? I think, you know, when I was young, I grew up in Australia, and in Australia, there's a lot of drugs. And I think, you know, and I did partake in some of that. And I think one thing I would do differently is I would do way less. It's just not something that I think benefited me much at all. You know, maybe a little bit, you know, gave me some maybe introspection and some ability to kind of look at myself and look at my thoughts and, you know, look at how I'm feeling, kind of made me a little bit maybe more in touch with my thoughts and feelings, which can be really good. But I think there's a lot of drugs out there that are just not good at all, and you don't benefit anything from. So the things I'm thinking of are like uppers, like things that give you more energy, and that just make you feel good. they're ones that I don't think they add any value. So I would stay totally away from them. But I think the ones that make you think about things and that give you a different perspective on things, they can be quite useful. And they're useful in psychotherapy and stuff as well. Like in some parts of the world, those kind of drugs are used for psychiatry and to get people out of depression and get people out of trauma and things like that, to help people deal with trauma. So I'm a fan of those kinds. I don't want to name any because I don't know, YouTube probably doesn't like it, but yeah. So I would say like that's one thing I would really do differently. I would do way less drugs. I think I would try to be healthier. I would drink less. I would just take care of my health more. I think is the most important thing. As you get older, it's just something that you value more and more. So that's one thing I would do differently. I would also just, this is such old man advice, but I would probably, spend more time focusing on school and education. Because I was a terrible student at high school. I really just wasn't focused at all. And it wasn't until later when I went to university when I was about 26 or so, that I like kind of had a revelation about education, and I loved it. I mean, it was one of my best experiences in life was going to university and just really being a good student and like focusing on my studies and being really like hungry for knowledge and wanting to learn from my teachers, and like sitting down with my teachers after class and chatting with them, or before class, like arriving early and like sitting down and chatting with my teachers about being a teacher or about the subject. And participating in classes, I think, is something I really, really, really enjoyed in university that I never did at high school, and yeah, I regret that. I feel like I wish I was a better student at high school. I think it just would have benefited my life, in so many ways. And yeah, I mean, you can't really go back, so that's one of the problems. But yeah, great question. Really appreciate that one. Next one comes from RBZ Spazzy, and they ask, next montage video when? Montage video, that's a good question. That's another one I didn't really think I'd do another episode of. Again, the video did okay, 6,500 views. It wasn't difficult to make either, so I could definitely do another one. The only problem is I didn't get that much participation. I mean, I only got 6 or 7 entries, so it just wasn't that successful. In terms of how many entries I got. So maybe I'll put out the word, and if I can get maybe 10 people signing up, maybe I'll do it. But otherwise, I don't really want the same 5 people participating again. Like, it doesn't really interest me. So but anyway, yeah, it's a good question. I'll think about it, definitely. Next one comes from Miad, and they ask, Mogz, what should I make my controls in touch? What should you make your controls? I mean, I'm actually planning a video about that. I'm going to show you guys some of the best players in the world and what touch controls they use, including hand cams and stuff. So that's a video that I'm planning now and I'm working on. But in terms of what controls you should use, I mean, really whatever's comfortable for you. I mean, it's kind of a cop-out answer, but whatever you find most comfortable, that's what you should be using. I would say just default controls in terms of the joystick, and then just however you like to hold your phone, just use that. But I definitely recommend 3 fingers at least. Some players use 4, but definitely 3 is the minimum you're going to want to use. And keep that last finger or keep one finger ready to switch from boost to half air roll whenever you want to do stall chains. So that's really important. You can use the boosted jump button if you want. You can replace the boost button with a boosted jump button if you want. That's something I've seen a lot of players do. But it's really up to you what you find most comfortable. So I don't really have a great answer to that. But yeah, I mean, watch the upcoming video. Maybe it'll be out in a week or 2. You'll definitely learn a lot from that. But not so much I can give in just a verbal reply. But yeah, good question. Next one comes from Tot Hubix. And they ask, hey Mogz, do you think that Rocket League is dying with the end of trade and lack of new features? No, I don't think Rocket League is dying at all. I think trading being removed, I mean, it doesn't impact anyone massively other than people who are just kind of maining the game for trading. Like if they're pretty much only playing the game for trading, I think those are the people that are mostly upset with the removal of trading. I mean, no one's going to be happy about it. Like no one likes a feature being removed. But yeah, I think content creators are affected because they can't do giveaways anymore. So that's one problem. So I think content creators are affected a lot. Also, people that are just maining the game for trading. But everyone else, I mean, I don't think you can kill a game by taking away trading, unless it's a trading game. But Rocket League is a car soccer game, and so taking away trading is just kind of a minor inconvenience, I think, for most serious players. So no, I don't think it's dying. Lack of new features. I mean, they just released a big update that's going to change the UI and give us the ability to queue all the game modes at the same time. So that's really an amazing change that I've been wanting, and I know a huge percentage of the community has been wanting for a long time. So yeah, I mean, lack of new features as well. I mean, Rocket League is the kind of game that we don't really... Like in the past, they've tried to implement new game modes and new features, and the community doesn't like it. Like we're quite conservative. We mainly just want Rocket League to stay Rocket League, and I feel like the more extra game modes and stuff and changes you make to the core gameplay, the worse it becomes. You know, because Rocket League is Rocket League, and if you start changing it, and adding like new maps and stuff, it becomes not Rocket League anymore. So it's like FIFA. Like you can't really change FIFA that much. That's why every single iteration, like every single new version of FIFA is just like a slightly updated, like new graphics version of the previous FIFA. So you can't really change it that much. That's the problem with sports games, I think, generally, especially ones that are based on real sports, or also, you know, ones like Rocket League, which are like really, really unique and they've created like a new sport. It's kind of hard to change it much beyond that original design. So yeah, I mean, anyway, no, I don't think Rocket League is dying. I think it's got a very long life. All right, next question comes from SQ Neon, and they ask, what was your favorite game growing up? Ooh, it's a great question. The first game that comes to mind is definitely, well, I would say Warcraft 2, I think, was a massive game for me. Also, Civilization. I was massively into Civilization 2. That was, me and my brothers just mained that game hard when we were growing up. Yeah, I really loved that. And it taught me so much about the world as well. I mean, it taught me about like global politics and stuff, and you know, different types of government and different types of religion. So I found that really educational and really entertaining. Other than that, I think World of Warcraft was a massive game for me. I played that to death for years. I mean, I kind of no-lifed that game for a while. Because I don't know if you guys know, but I'm a massive introvert, so I'm really just more comfortable like on my own. And, you know, I think a lot of YouTubers are. We prefer, that's why we become YouTubers, because we sort of spend so much time on our computers, and except I guess the ones, you know, like the Logan Pauls and whatever, the ones that do those like vlogs with their face, you know, front and center. Those guys, I guess, are more extrovert, but you know, the gaming YouTubers, I think, tend to be introverts. So, you know, I've spent a lot of time just on my computer and just playing games and stuff. So yeah, World of Warcraft was one that I could just no life and just spend all my time on. Yeah, that game, Civ 2 and Warcraft 2, I think were probably the three sort of main games for me at different points in my childhood. Yeah, good question though. Nice to think of those memories. All right, next one comes from Shadow Yar, and they ask, Mogz, I just want to ask, what motivated you to start YouTube? Yeah, good question. I don't know. I mean, you know, growing up, I was really into writing. You know, writing was a massive, like kind of creative writing was a massive outlet for me to like creatively. So I've always been looking for a job to do where I could use my creative writing skill or my interest in creative writing that wasn't like journalism or something like that. But I never really knew what to do with it. So, and then on top of that, I love games. I've always been a massive gamer, as I've talked about. And yeah, I think during the pandemic, I noticed, I had a surplus of time, and I'd often been thinking about, doing YouTube, because I felt like I had something to say about Rocket League and other games. And I just thought now's a great opportunity. And so, yeah, I just did it. I made a few videos, and I started practicing like talking to a microphone and talking in front of a camera. Because I've got another channel that I've done a little bit where I was actually on camera for the first couple of videos. But you guys will never see that. It's all private now. Yeah. So yeah, I think during the pandemic was just a good time to start, and I just took the plunge and made a few videos. And I did a couple of early Rocket League videos. Like a couple of my earliest Rocket League videos did relatively well. Like they got 10,000-20,000 views. So I thought, wow, this is something that I can maybe do. And yeah, the journey started from there. You really just have to take the plunge and just start making videos. But the thing that I would recommend for anyone who's starting out making YouTube videos is you really need to put in time into your videos. Don't just release gameplay or with no commentary and just music or something, like, because people appreciate effort, and if they can see that you've put a lot of effort into the videos, then they'll be more likely to want to watch them. And then also to like them and to comment them, which helps the algorithm and blah, blah, blah. But people don't really like low effort videos unless it's really niche, unless it's like really like a comedy. There's some channels that can get away with doing super low effort because there's comedy in it, and there's some, memes, or there's something there's some like insight sort of behind the scenes. But generally I would recommend high effort content. Put as much effort as you can into as a few videos that you've thought about, you've actually put the time into thinking about, not just like thrown out like daily videos for a few months with basically no effort. Don't do that. There's too many channels doing that, and you're likely not going to be successful. So that's my advice, and it's taken me to 55k subs, and it's further than I ever thought I would get on YouTube. So, that's how I've done it anyway. It's been as high effort as I can manage, really, without, only doing one video a month or something. But yeah, great question. All right, next one comes from Sir Samosa Distributor, and they ask, "Hey Moggers, do you think we are near the skill ceiling for RLSS?" I mean, yeah, I think we're relatively close. I was actually talking to Dans today about like the highest level plays in the game, and I think I have a pretty good idea of like the perfect play, the perfect like offensive play, which I might do a video about. But I feel like, yeah, we are pretty close. Like, it's really just a matter of consistency and accuracy at this point. I don't think there are any really like new mechanics to discover. I think we're pretty much at the end of the road in terms of new mechanics. And I feel like a lot of the quote unquote new mechanics that we've seen in, my mechanic showcase videos, aren't really new mechanics. They're just like extensions of old mechanics. So yeah, I think we are near the skill ceiling, definitely. All right, next one comes from Shadow Yar, and they ask, "Hey Mogz, what back in the past in school, what was your least favorite subject or your favorite one?" Yeah, my least favorite subject was 1000% mathematics, and that's just because I'm absolutely terrible at it. I just don't have a mathematics brain, I guess, and I'm just not interested in it at all. So I'm so bad at it. So yeah, don't ask me maths questions ever. Yeah, that's my least favorite. My favorite one's definitely English. Like I was really good at English. I really loved like analyzing like poems and stuff, and analyzing like Shakespeare and all that stuff. So I'm sure a lot of you guys would hate that, but I really liked it. I just found it really interesting, and I think it's because I spent a lot of time talking about language with my father. My dad was really into speaking really well, speaking really clearly, you know, having a good vocabulary. And we used to play a lot of like word games and things like that together. So yeah, I think English was always my favorite subject, and I loved writing and stuff, as I talked about earlier, and everything. So yeah, those were definitely my least favorite and most favorite subjects, 100%. And also PE, you know, like physical education, that was my other favorite subject, just because I was so good at sports. I was like a kind of national level runner, sprinter, and so yeah, I was always really good at that, and so I enjoyed it. And it wasn't academic. I wasn't, you know, as I said earlier, like I wasn't a really good student, so PE was just like a break for me. So I loved that as well. All right, next one comes from Melvin Sack the Shawarma. Okay. And they ask, Mogz, why do I suck at 1v1s even though my skill in 2v2s is flipping nada vada? That's such a stupid question. Why do you suck at 1v1s? I mean, 1v1s is so different from 2s. Like, it's so high pressure and and it's all on you, you know? So I think the main thing in 1s is getting really good at the air dribble setups, and then having mechanics to use to finish your plays, your solo plays. You just have to get really good at that, and then not overcommitting and wasting all your boost, you know? So those kind of two things are the main thing, and then you can get back and defend. If you're not good at mechanics and you're not good at like boost conservation and knowing when to commit, and also 50s, I mean 50s are kind of the main thing in 1s as well. So those kind of three things, maybe you're just suffering in one or more than one of those areas. So yeah, I would look at maybe watch one of your replays and look at one of those areas and see if you're not doing well, and if so, then yeah, work on it. All right, next one comes from Hakiri no Kage, and they ask, how can I defend better on Shortstack, because I always drop down to silver and always lose because of Shortstack. Yeah, I mean, definitely watch my Shortstack tutorial. That'll help you a lot. Yeah, I mean, it's just don't stop overcommitting and don't let the ball go past you. Your priority needs to be never to let the ball go past you on Shortstack, and you need to just don't overcommit, don't flip into the ball, don't go up for aerials because it's pointless. Just stay on the ground as much as you can and wait for your opponent to overcommit and just push the ball past him. And don't flip on your shots, you know. But anyway, go watch my Shortstack video. It'll help a lot, definitely. And next one comes from Delevox, and they ask, do you think collaboration will come to Sideswipe like Whiplash collaboration of Fortnite? I think not, but it wouldn't be bad. Yeah, no, I don't think so, because the game's not monetized, so we're not going to see any, you know, Lamborghini, Ferrari, anything like that. Any like licensed cars. We're not going to see anything like that in Sideswipe. That said, I mean, it's possible we'll get more Fortnite or just like Epic Games collaboration or cross promotion. There might be some of that. I doubt it though. I mean, it seems like they're abandoning the game, so I wouldn't hold your breath, honestly. I don't think you're going to see much new stuff in Sideswipe, if any at all, unfortunately. And the last question comes from Mogz. And they ask, I've been watching your channel for a while now. Seems like, wondering how you think about the views on Sideswipe videos. It seems like you're getting good views for a game that's supposedly dying. I'm wondering how, if you think those view statistics will go up or down over time. Also, I just want to say thank you for making this content about not just Sideswipe but other games as well. You were the only Rocket League YouTuber I watched back in the day and really got me into these great games. So thank you, Mogz. That's such a lovely message. Oh my god, that's why I left it for last. It's just so kind. But yeah, thank you, Mogz. Really appreciate it, bro. I'm glad the content's, you know, inspired you to play some really good games. That's really nice to hear. And in terms of views, I mean, yeah, I'm really surprised the views are doing well. I think it's because I've changed my content a bit and moved more towards entertainment content rather than just educational content. Like back in the early days, I was really kind of against doing entertainment. I really just wanted to focus on teaching people how to play the game. And I don't know, I sort of had a bit of like an elitist view of that, and I thought educational content was better than entertainment content, but I've changed my view completely, and now I love making the entertainment stuff. I mean, it's like the thing I enjoy most, actually. I don't really like doing tutorials much anymore. It's just too much work, and it's too much like pressure to get everything perfect, and you know, make sure I say the right thing and blah blah blah. So I really enjoy the entertainment content and the commentary and everything, and you know, you guys seem to like it too. So yeah, I mean, I'm really surprised how well the channel's performing, because I mean, the game is kind of dying. The other reason, I think, this is just a theory, but I think a lot of Sideswipe channels have disappeared. You know, a lot of the Sideswipe creators have stopped. And so I think my channel, because it's been continuing, I've kind of soaked up the viewers that have left those channels, and they've come to me. So I'm like a sponge, like soaking up all of the Sideswipe views. That's kind of how I see it anyway. So I think I saw a bit of a bump from the fact that the game is dying and lots of channels left. I kind of took up all of those viewers. But that's just a theory. I don't actually have any evidence to prove that at all. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy with how the channel's doing. It's really good. It's sort of sustainable. Like, it means that I can keep doing this and I can still justify it. Yeah. Anyway, no, that's a good question. Thank you. And thank you for the kind words. Really, really appreciate that. All right, so those are all the questions for this episode. I just want to say I apologize for my really bad voice. I'm sick at the moment, and I'm really struggling to talk for long periods of time. So I've had to edit this a lot and remove a lot of my coughing and things like that. So I'm kind of losing my voice at the moment. But I just really wanted to do this video because it's really overdue. But if you want to participate in future episodes and submit your own questions, then come join the Mogz Discord server and put your questions in the Ask Mogz channel. I'll go through that and pick out my favorite questions for every episode, and if I like yours, it might be featured in the next episode. But yeah, as always, guys, like the video if you liked it, dislike it if not, subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one.